The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning American astronauts to the moon for the first time since 1972 for long-term exploration and use. This time, we will not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars and perhaps someday to many worlds beyond.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. It's a painful process to build it back again.
Many of us and many other people in many places have speculated on the meaning of this first landing on another body in space. Would each of you give us your estimate of what is the meaning of this to all of us?
You want to try that? Can't forget.
That's how fake what they're showing us is. That it is fake because it's fake. And they're going to continue to fake it until they're gone. They must only exist to perpetrate the fraud. That's their entire goal.
We've been lied to. I will not be fooled by aliens coming because there are no aliens. There's no space.
It's bottom of the barrel garbage. I don't see anything that tells me that we've been outside of low Earth orbit. So if that's the case, then that means that they can only get so high and they might be able to fly around at that height. But after that, everything from that point, and if you want to know that point, watch any space launch video. It's the point where the camera switches. Simple. So many people believe things that they've never done research on because it seems to be matter of fact.
You have to use your own imagination as to what the world might be because we were lied to about what it is. My imagination isn't trying to deceive me.
This world is very different from what most people think it is.
Rise up and look at that great cosmic light and think about it. That gets up in the eastern horizon every morning and moves across the sky with a kind of symphony of motion and paints its technicolor across the blue, a light that man can never make.
Very simple indeed to just silence everybody, put an end to this topic once and for all, turn the Hubble round and show us Earth in real time, zooming in onto a place so that we can see what's happening at that place, and we know that there is something up there looking down on us from space. But they will not do it. They can't do it. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist.
The same guys that fake 6 moon missions, the greatest human achievement of all mankind, they fake 6 of them, and this is where I thought we read like scientists just fucking, oh, there's all these scientists with their telescopes and they're looking, and that's what I thought. I go, what about all the scientists? Yeah, all these scientists, they're looking at telescopes. That's what I thought. But they're all looking at telescopes, all these scientists. They're looking at telescopes. And then you find out they're not fucking looking at it. The same motherfuckers who fake 6 moon missions, these are the same guys that are giving us all our information on space. Right there, I'm like, oh, they're lying to us. Everything they're saying to us, they're lying to us. Everything is a lie. They're all saying, but the information about space, no, that's true.
I get that.
That's true. No, it's fucking all bullshit. All you got to do is look into it, and you're going to realize that it's all bullshit.
Eddie, okay.
All the information on space, bullshit. Can you name 5 scientists and that are alive? Name 5 scientists that are alive. I'm waiting.
This next question comes from Twitter user Aku, who asks, any estimations on how old these discovered exoplanets are?
Yeah, the age of the star and the system itself is poorly constrained. We know it's not very young, it doesn't show signs of youngness, so it's at least 500 million years old. But we can't say more because these ultra-cool dwarf stars, they evolve super slowly. Their lifetime is 1,000 times larger than for a sun-like stars. So we don't see them evolving, so we can't constrain their ages.
All right, this next question comes from Facebook Live here. What is the distance between these 3 planets? Is it something like 500,000 kilometers? And what is the distance between E and the star?
The distance between the planets are a few times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. So we're talking about something like millions of kilometers and not hundreds of millions of kilometers for an Earth around a sun-like star. And for the planet F, or E, the distance is something like 5% the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So it's much, much closer to its star.
I think it's important that everybody does their own research, and I try to point that out as often as possible, and I try to say it as often as I can, because if you ever are listening to what someone's telling you, or you're watching me point out space fakery or what I think is a hoax, I'm doing that to kind of get you on your way. But all of space travel is fake. All of outer space and the way that we've been taught it, planets and nebulas, is completely different than we've been taught. And that realization ultimately comes with looking into this stuff yourself. People think space is what they've been told because they've been told. And that goes for scientists, that goes for professors, to look into the things that they're teaching. To tell children that they're spinning on a ball is an extraordinary claim. And to say that we're flying through space and that the atmosphere sticks with Earth sounds like extraordinary claims. Sounds like it's just ad hoc explanations for things that we would see on a spinning ball that we don't see because it's not spinning and it's not a ball. If they found out that what they're teaching is a lie, they would all stop tomorrow. And so I think that the main point of what I'm trying to say is going to be the importance behind actually doing your own research and showing NASA to be the fraud that they are. Because of the education that we were given and because of the indoctrination and because of every TV show and video and commercial and logo. If you're about the truth, if you care about actually talking about what things are true and you actually respect people who are willing to speak out about that, then you will come to the realization eventually that we've been lied to, on the largest possible scale. But I also know 100% one thing, and that's that they're hiding God. Without a doubt, in my mind, that is the reason for this all. And like you said, people are getting paid to do it.
Students' claim is reigniting the debate about prayer in schools. The high schooler says an administrator kept her from praying before she ate her lunch.
Senior running back Pedro Banda scored the touchdown that would send his team to the playoffs for the first time. But what Pedro did next got him kicked out of the game and put his football future in jeopardy. He pointed his hand to the sky and thanked God.
When we say public schools, what we really mean is government schools. We have given to the government the role of educating our children. I think that's a bad idea. Very bad idea. Very bad idea.
Students all across America, thousands and thousands of students who are learning. They're learning about space flight.
Wouldn't that be nice? Can you believe that space is going to do that?
NASA does what they can to teach you about something you'll never experience. And they force it down your throat as if it is part of your experience. And people have adopted it as if space travel is part of their experience, as if orbits are part of your experience, as if satellites are part of your experience. Because of the research I've done, that clearly shows me that these things are not legit. And I think people need to really take the time to look into satellites, for instance, just as an example. That, yeah, we're told satellites exist, we're told what they do. And if I say they don't exist and somebody makes a video and says, well, right here, you can go to this website and it says right here the satellites exist and what they do. If it's a deception, well then, no shit, Sherlock, if you go check out a web page that's about satellites, then you're not going to find the deception there. It's something that people just don't do. They don't demand proof of things that we're told. That's the problem. It is absolutely a joke to be shown CGI images, to be shown black and white images of Saturn's rings. It's a joke. It is absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen because of what it does to the minds of people. And science should always be about moving towards the truth. And science should never be settled. It should never be settled science. And it should always be open for question. It should always be open for new evidence to come along. And that's not the science we're given today. We live in the world we see with our eyes every day. You can recognize what's real, what's real, what's real, what's real, and what's not, and what's not, and what's not. I'm not going to adopt something as my belief until I've done the research behind it, and you understand that, and you recognize the power behind research and investigation.
And I want y'all to be honest as possible. Do y'all think the earth is flat?
No.
No? Why not?
It's Earth.
Who told you that?
History. Fourth grade. Yeah, the science teachers.
You don't think so? You don't think it's flat?
There's possibilities.
Possibilities?
Just because maybe. We've been raised.
Y'all think we moving? You think we spinning?
Probably.
I mean, that's what the science books say.
Gravity.
Do you feel it? So what is gravity?
Oh, I don't know the true definition.
You think it's a ball? And what's your best proof that it's a ball and that it's not flat?
Because of the satellite, they show the image. That's the way.
The satellite, the pictures that you see. But you yourself, can you feel the Earth spinning right now? No? Okay. Have you ever seen the Earth curving? Me neither. You know why? It's because the Earth is flat and it doesn't spin. Look into it.
You prove to me that the Earth is round.
I mean, obviously I can't.
You can't. Because all you can go by is what? What you read and what you were told, right?
Exactly.
But what you see, the people that told you that the Earth is round also say that we're spinning on the axis going around the sun.
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
No.
Have you ever seen the curve?
What do you mean? Have you ever
No,
seen
the Earth curve. Have you ever seen it?
No, of course you can't.
You can't see it.
No.
Exactly. So how? How is it right? It can't be. It can't be.
Okay.
It can't just be. It just is.
Can you?
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you.
Often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there, and the outside of the space station gets beat up pretty good. And sometimes, you'll see just little flecks of paint or something that you might have disrupted floating away from the suit. And, that's generally what that is. I've never seen any kind of air bubble anywhere.
Yeah. Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there? I encourage everyone to look up bubbles in space, hashtag bubbles in space. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I beg you to do the research that I've done, which is just simply go and look at this stuff. Really question everything, because if they faked it once, what's to stop them from faking it twice? And what's to stop them from faking it all?